It's so sad when I see people being mean to themselves and really saying hurtful things. I mean, I never do that, and I'm sure that you never do it. But maybe we can do some surrogate tapping for those people who do. One of the complaints I hear so often is, "I'm too fat," and they say it in a way that's with so much contempt. And maybe they're thinking that if they do that, it's going to motivate them to change it. And I don't see that happen very often. Maybe that's motivated some people, but I've rarely, if ever, seen anyone hate themselves into health. So if you have some emotional stuff around this, let's see if we can create some shifts here. So taking full responsibility for your own well-being in this video and in life in general. Even though I'm too fat, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I'm too fat, I choose to love and honor myself anyway. Even though I am too fat. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And because of that, I withhold love from myself. I'm mean to myself. I make myself feel bad, as though that's somehow going to make things better. But it's what I have to do. As long as I believe I'm too fat, as long as that's what I see and what others see, I need to feel bad about myself. And even though I am too fat, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself anyway, along with anyone else who has hated themselves for being too fat, or who has taught me to hate myself because of this. They're just stinky poopy heads. I'm too fat. I am too fat. Which begs the question, how fat is too fat? At what point did I become too fat? Was there a point when I was just fat enough? Was there a point when I was the right amount of fat? And then a few extra ounces made me too fat. Which also begs the question, too fat for what? Too fat to get through the door? Too fat to love myself? Too fat to be loved by someone else? Even though I love people who are fat. So apparently they're not too fat. Too fat for what? And why does that mean I have to be mean to myself? Maybe I've been convincing myself that hating myself for being too fat is finally going to get me to exercise more. It's finally going to get me to eat better. And how's that working for me? And if it's not working yet, I guess I must not be too fat. Because when I get to the point of being too fat, that's when I'll be motivated. All these stories I tell myself to justify being angry at myself. And I am angry at myself for letting things go so far. But hating myself isn't going to change that. What would happen if I loved myself? But if I love myself just as I am, I won't be motivated to change. Oh, that's right. Not loving myself hasn't motivated me yet either. So if I'm not going to be motivated one way or the other, I might as well choose loving myself over hating myself. But maybe I need to try hating myself just a little bit longer. Because then it's going to kick in. But when I'm not feeling love towards myself, I'm not really motivated to take care of myself. Taking better care of my body is an act of love towards myself. Something I'm far more likely to do the more I love myself. So I choose to love myself right now, at the exact size that I am. I am not too fat to love myself. I am not too fat to be kind to myself. I am not too fat to not call myself too fat. Letting go of this need to say that I'm too fat. I may be over my ideal weight. Which may be something I want to handle. It's like if I make the wrong turn while I'm driving somewhere. Do I get all upset at myself and say I'm too far off course? Well, maybe I do, and I choose to stop that. I choose to treat myself with more love. And I am not too fat to deserve that. I deserve love right now. So I'm letting go of calling myself too fat. I'm letting go of the emotions behind that. I'm lovable just as I am. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. And please love yourself just as you are. And the more you love yourself, well, don't be surprised as you start adopting healthier habits. And love yourself one way or the other. Thanks.